Being immortal, the gods had to come up with things to do to kill time. So one day, Zeus, master of the world, wanted to know where the center of his realm was. To figure this out, Zeus let loose 2 eagles, flying towards each other, each from a different extremity of the earth. Where the paths of the eagles met would be the world's navel. He marked the spot with the omphalos, the stone that had once saved him from being eaten by Kronos. Maybe a little surprisingly, Zeus did not claim this most important of sites for himself, but left this prime real estate to one of his sons, Apollo. Welcome to Ciceroni.
Apollo may have had the perfect scenic location for a holy site, but no matter what your real estate agent says, location isn't everything. For this site to become the most important oracle in the world, there was a lot of work to be done. Problem 1 was that without humans to worship you, you don't have much of a holy site. And there wasn't a soul living anywhere near the site. No humans anyway. And Apollo was going to have a hard time convincing any humans to move there as long as their neighbor from hell still resided there. So Apollo took up his signature bow and arrow and battled the python. He slew the monster and buried it deep under the omphalos. Having killed the horrible python, Apollo could now start moving humans in to inhabit the site and worship him.
As first settlers, Apollo chose a group of tradesmen from Crete. As puny humans cannot handle the sight of a god in all its glory, Apollo came to the tradesmen in the shape of a dolphin and leapt from the sea onto their ship. The Cretans followed the instructions of the talking dolphin and set sail for the center of the earth. Upon arrival, however, they were reluctant to settle. Even without the snake monster, the location had its problems. They noted the lack of arable land and the inconvenient climb up Mount Parnassus to reach the place set out for settlement. But Apollo told them, "Ye of little faith, you will not have to worry about food or anything else. Once you settle here and worship me, all the world will come and bring you more than you can ever need." And so they settled at the site and named it Delphi, after the Greek word for dolphin.
The people who lived at Delphi in the many centuries afterwards certainly didn't want for anything. The oracle attracted people from all over the Greek world and beyond to bring offerings to Apollo. Because Delphi was frequented by everyone, it was the perfect place to show off as well as annoy your enemies. When Athens defeated the Persians at Salamis, single-handedly protecting the Greek world from the Persian Empire, they weren't going to let the rest of the Greeks forget. So they had the bows of the Persian ships installed at Delphi as a permanent reminder to all of the Greeks of the heroism and greatness of Athens. Over the years, Delphi was covered in countless statues, prizes and dedications to victories in war as well as games. The main business of Delphi was of course its oracle, where you could consult the will of the gods directly. Most people would just hand in a note with a yes or no question and would receive an answer. But if you were really wealthy and important, you could talk to the priestess, known as a Pythia, directly. She would then answer your question in a very roundabout Mr. Miyagi kind of way. Supposedly, the reason the oracle spoke in riddles was that the Pythia was permanently drugged by toxic fumes that rose from the cracks in the earth. These fumes were said to come from the rotting body of the python buried beneath.
Apparently, Apollo was quite proud about how the python ended up there, bragging about his mighty bow and arrow. At some point, he mocked Eros for the small size of his equipment. Insulted, Eros decided to teach Apollo a lesson. He shot Apollo with one of his golden arrows, making him fall madly in love with the beautiful nymph Daphne, who Eros then shot with a lead arrow, making her hate Apollo. Apollo tried to woo Daphne, and when that didn't work, he chased her around trying to have his way with her anyway. Daphne was terrified and pleaded with the gods to help her. At the last possible moment, a goddess interfered and turned Daphne into a laurel tree. Maybe not the best way to help someone in need, but it did give Bernini a chance to make this spectacular statue, in which you can see the entire transformation. Apollo was forevermore associated with laurel leaves. Winners at the Pythian Games at Delphi were given laurel wreaths to wear. This tradition of wearing laurel wreaths was copied by the Romans, who gave them to victorious generals, like Julius Caesar. Sometimes we still use laurel to celebrate sporting or academic achievement. In Italian, an academic degree is even called a laurea. Likewise, poets like Ovid and Dante are often depicted with laurel on their heads in reference to Apollo, god of poetry and music.
The goddess who saved Daphne was Apollo's very own twin sister Artemis. Next month, we'll talk about her and how she saves another unfortunate young girl at the very last minute. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, please click here to subscribe for more interesting videos in the future. And click here to see the playlist to which we will add another god each month.